Picture this, a regular Tuesday evening, nothing out of the ordinary. The soft hum of life is palpable in the air of this quintessential town. The community, a mosaic of familiar faces and everyday scenes, embodies the essence of normalcy. Amidst this backdrop, we find John, an average resident, immersed in his daily routine. John, like many of us, is fond of the fleeting snapshots of life shared on Snapchat. On this particular evening, his routine check-in on the platform leads him to something unusual. An account, intriguingly named Phantom Snaps, catches his eye. The story it tells is oddly captivating, a cryptic blend of shadows and whispers that teases the edge of his curiosity. With curiosity piqued, John decides to follow this account, unknowingly setting off a series of chilling events. Little does he know, this unassuming beginning is the prelude to a tale that would send shivers down the spine of even the most hardened horror enthusiast. John wakes up to a Snapchat notification from Phantom Snaps. It's not a name he recognizes, but curiosity piques his interest. He swipes open the message, revealing a harmless riddle. Something about shadows and time. John, always having had a knack for puzzles, quickly solves it and replies, thinking it's just a fun game some stranger decided to play. A smile plays on his lips as he sends off his response, unaware of the ominous undercurrents at play. No sooner does he send his reply, another snap arrives. The smile on John's face fades as he opens the message. It's a picture of his house, taken from a distance. The early morning sun casts long shadows across the lawn, giving an eerie, unsettling look to the otherwise familiar setting. He squints at the image, his heart pounding in his chest. He doesn't want to believe what he's seeing. It's his house, all right, but how could this stranger have known? It's unsettling, to say the least. But John, ever the rationalist, brushes it off as a mere coincidence. Maybe Phantom Snaps is some local prankster who happened to snap a random house, which just so happened to be his. He shakes off the unease, deciding not to engage further. He closes the app, dismissing the incident as a strange, one-off event. Yet, as he goes about his day, the image of his house on his phone screen haunts him, lurking at the back of his mind. There's a nagging feeling, an instinct perhaps, that tells him something isn't quite right, but he pushes it aside, chalking it up to an overactive imagination. As night falls, John settles into bed, his phone cast aside, the strange encounter with Phantom Snaps almost forgotten. He closes his eyes, ready for sleep to claim him, oblivious to the danger that lurks in the shadows. Little did he know, the game was only just beginning. The snaps continue, each more disturbing than the last. Our protagonist, John, finds himself in a chilling game of cat and mouse, a game that is played out through the eerie glow of his phone screen. The snaps, once seemingly benign, now take on a sinister tone. They are no longer random images or harmless pranks, but glimpses into John's life that no stranger should have. The snaps are no longer a mere annoyance. They have become a dark intrusion. They depict familiar scenes, intimate and personal. Pictures of John's favorite coffee mug, his worn-out running shoes, the dog-eared book on his bedside table. The snaps show his car parked in its usual spot, his office desk with its clutter of papers, and the half-eaten sandwich from lunch. They show his bedroom, the pillow indented from his head, the sheets still warm from his body, captured while he's sleeping. But it's not just the pictures that send a chill down John's spine. Each snap comes with a riddle, cryptic and elusive. It's as if the sender is toying with him, taking perverse pleasure in his confusion and growing fear. John finds himself drawn into this macabre game, each riddle a puzzle piece in this horrifying jigsaw. He spends his waking hours trying to decipher these enigmatic clues, hoping to unmask the person behind this. And as the days turn into nights and back into days, the snaps become darker, more menacing. The riddles become more complex, the images more intrusive. The game is no longer just about fear, it's about survival. The chilling realization dawns on John that the stakes are much higher than he had initially thought. The snaps have transformed from a strange curiosity into a terrifying nightmare, a nightmare that plays out in the palm of John's hand. Each new snap brings a fresh wave of dread, a new riddle, a new glimpse into his life. With each passing day, the snaps take on a darker tone and the stakes get higher. John finally cracks the riddles and makes a shocking discovery. As the last piece of the puzzle slides into place, John's heart skips a beat. The riddles that once seemed like harmless games have now spelled out a chilling destination, the local graveyard. His hands tremble as he pulls up the map on his phone, his eyes tracing the familiar streets that lead to the city's resting place for the departed. The realization hits him like a cold gust of wind, sending shivers down his spine. Each cryptic message, each eerie image sent by phantom snaps was not just a game, it was a countdown, a chilling itinerary leading to this final destination. The graveyard stands as a grim testament to the horrifying reality he stumbled upon. It's not just an ancient burial ground, it's the phantom snap's hunting ground, the final curtain call for his macabre game. As John walks through the graveyard, the moonlight casts long, eerie shadows on the tombstones. The silence is deafening as he weaves through the rows of graves, each one a solemn reminder of lives cut short. He stumbles upon a section of the graveyard, the tombstones fresher than the others. The names etched on them send a cold chill down his spine. They are the names of Phantom Snap's previous victims. The realization is like a punch to the gut. Each name, each life taken was part of this horrifying game. And now John's name was next on the list. He was not just a player in the game, he was the game. His breath hitches in his throat as the horrifying truth sinks in. He was not uncovering a mystery, he was walking into a trap. Each riddle was not a challenge but a step closer to his end. The game was never meant to be won, it was designed to end in the graveyard. As the cold winds of the graveyard whip around him, a sense of impending doom washes over John. He was not just playing with phantom snaps, he was playing with death itself. John's world comes crashing down as he realizes the horrifying truth. John tries to outsmart phantom snaps, but to no avail. In a desperate bid for survival, he reports the haunting account to the authorities. He pleads for their help, recounting the chilling tale of his digital tormentor, but the sinister snaps persist. Undeterred, John makes one final gambit, fleeing town, hoping to escape the phantom's reach. Yet even as he races away from his home, his phone vibrates ominously. The snaps follow him, relentless and terrifying, a spectral presence that defies all logic. In the silence of his lonely motel room, he opens the last snap. His blood runs cold at the sight, a picture of his own grave freshly dug. The realization dawns on him, a chilling and inescapable truth. He's trapped in a nightmare with no end in sight, a pawn in a game he never wanted to play. John's story ends here, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the digital shadows. John's disappearance shakes the town. A cloud of sorrow hangs heavily over the peaceful community as they grapple with the inexplicable loss of a friend, a neighbor, a son. The echoes of John's laughter, once a familiar sound in the neighborhood, are now replaced with hushed whispers of worry and fear. The local police force, in their quest for answers, stumble upon John's phone. The haunting snaps, the eerie exchanges, the chilling game, all immortalized on his device. The images, once shared in jest, now serve as grim reminders of a life cut short, a narrative left unfinished. Suddenly, the Phantom Snaps account vanishes. As if it were merely a figment of our collective imagination, it disappears without a trace. The digital spectre that once haunted the screens of the unsuspecting leaves behind an eerie silence. In the end, all that remains is a chilling Snapchat story and an unsolved mystery. A tale of terror etched forever in the annals of this quiet town.